Hello again, everyone. Melth here with more of the Green Earth Hard campaign, going for 0 casualties and 300 points on all of these missions. I could tackle any of these 4 next, but I thought since I've already done some Jess ones and some Eagle ones, maybe I'll do a Jake one. Not Jake. Drake. Man, imagine if they combined Drake and Jess into one new CO called Jake, and then had him speaking nothing but like slang and music terms, and then made him the main character. That'd be horrible. Luckily they haven't done that here, so I'll tackle this fairly conventional Drake mission next. The southern mission you can see is also a Drake one, but it's a Fog of War puzzle one, so good to have a change of pace here. This is a complete remake of the map of Navy vs. Air from normal mode, which I actually appreciate quite a lot. That map was perfectly serviceable and fun, and they could have just made it harder, but instead they gave us an all-new map here. So I just like that they made the game bigger than it had to be, more maps than they had to put into it. I appreciate the extra effort they put in here and there. So in this map, you can see there's an isthmus dividing the entire map into 2 separate bodies of water. Unlike my map, Mare Tenebrosum, there are no ports to let ships travel back and forth from one side to the other, so totally separate, no way for my cruisers to support one another. On the other hand, Hawk can fly wherever the heck he wants with his bombers and battlecopters, so that's not good for us. Also not good for us is the fact that, cruisers are just absolute garbage, even Drakes. Drake's attack and defense bonuses are not really any good at all, just like 10% defense in this game. They nerfed him, and he was already not that good. Remember that he's weaker in this game than he is in Advanced Wars by a web, for arbitrary reasons. In any case, the important thing is that if Hawk gets 2 copters to attack you, you are just dead. Let alone a bomber. Will just ruin any cruiser. So, not getting killed when he outnumbers you with better units is not going to be easy. Over here, I'm going to go for this base rather than the obvious captures, I think. Then over here, I'm going to have this lander carry an anti-air and drop it off on the island as a setup for a later plan. This anti-air might as well just advance for the time being, not too much for it to do, and the missile is in a horrible position and it's a horrible unit anyway, so that all fits together, I guess. And then another infantry to do some captures. This mission will be not too hard to just win, but getting no casualties and 300 points, that's the rub. I do have a plan for it, but it'll require some clever maneuvers at several different stages of the level to do all of this. Alright, so first thing to do is get his bombers to where they don't support one another anymore. There's just no way to take out 2 bombers safely. But if I can split them up, like maybe having this one just north of his north bomber, and having a cruiser just south of his south bomber, then we're talking. So that should get them to split apart, and then maybe in a future turn I'll have them separate enough I can take them out separately safely. Down here, go for that base, of course. Start going for captures. Now, I could get another anti-air right now, or another infantry out. I think either one is okay. I'll do the infantry, I think. Then, back comes the lander. Even with your Drake movement bonuses, which are really nice, the shoals are not well positioned here, and you just can't get where you need to go. They made things as obnoxious as possible. Alright, and this anti-air, might as well advance. Slow down the bomber, its approach a little tiny bit. Won't make a big difference. And that should be about all I can do for this turn. I do like that this map is just a giant, huge income on both sides, slug it out type match. You can build as many ships as you want, they can build as many planes as they want. There's a base to fight over in the middle, and that of course is the crux of the entire map. Alright, so one thing I've noticed is that if only one of his copters can hit your cruiser, he doesn't usually like to go for that. So this move should be safe here. If both of them can go for you, he will definitely attack. If only one can go for you, he will usually leave you alone. Anyway, this should continue splitting them apart. And likewise over here, I will move this cruiser like that, and this anti-air like that. That should keep me safe. Better back up over hereabouts too. And in that case, I think I'll get myself an anti-air here. Complete that capture, and maybe walk this missile there. Only having one base is my biggest limitation right now. Hawk only has one too, so that's nice, but it does slow down my start a lot. Alright, good. So we have split them up successfully, that's great. And that worked perfectly too. If he does attack you down there, it's no big deal. He has to retreat. One last thing about being Drake is that your cruisers are faster than their copters are, so you can just retreat safely and then have your other one come in and support you and finish off the attacking copters. In any case, I want to get to this port now, I think, and get more infantry out, and fly just out of range, I would say. And down here, likewise, sail out of range. So now here's where things get a little bit clever. I noticed in normal mode that if you have your lander go onto, not your lander, your cruiser go onto a port, that his copters will not attack you. The calculation is just not good enough for them to attack, seemingly. So I'll do that. Now that's no good against a bomber. The bomber will still just fly up and destroy you. But what I also know is that the AI loves to attack capturing units. So if I start this capture over here, I think he'll be compelled to attack with this bomber. Then the missile's in position here where it covers me perfectly. So his bomber will just suicide itself like that. My anti-air can do whatever the heck it wants now, that means. I guess I'll just say just out of range of his bomber in the south. And over here, I might as well load up onto this lander and prepare to make a push to capture this island and maybe even his airport over there. One thing to know about Hawk at this level is that he absolutely favors his top airport over all else as long as it's available to build from. If you block it, then he'll shift down to other airports. But as long as this one's available to build from, he'll always build from here. And that's annoying because this one can't be cruiser locked because it's not coastal like most of the other ones are. I think I need... really I need more of everything, but I think I will get myself an APC here. I'll get an APC, and I'll get myself a lander, and that will be all. I'm going to be badly short in infantry shortly, but that's just the way it goes when you only have one base. Alright, so let's see how Hawk behaves here. Alright, that's as expected. Perfect. Now it comes time to manipulating his CO power. I want to do that carefully. This position here with the missile is ideal, by the way. You'll see why momentarily. So down goes his bomber, of course. Now here's the other clever bit. Now I go for this capture. Because of the way I pulled them, I knew these captures would come out staggered like this, so now he's going to be forced to waste yet another turn getting shot up. So that'll be nice for me. And if I build something like an infantry here, then he can only attack from this side where he's now missile blocked. Or not blocked, but we'll get killed by the missile, I think. Alright, over here it looks like I can't actually drop off very well. So I guess I might as well just, that is because I have to do this attack. So I'm delayed another turn, I'll just advance, but I'll stay out of range of those copters. I guess I can get to work on that capture, it's going to take a long time to finish, but that's okay. And I need to advance over here at full speed to try to harass him so he can't get that airport or the nearby base. And over here, let's see, what kind of CO power threshold is he at? Okay, if I give him 2 stars by killing 2 copters, that will push him past the CO power threshold so he will save it, and that's good for me. So we do things that way. Now, I guess I built this lander a turn prematurely, but it doesn't really make a big difference, so that's fine. I guess I'll just station it down here next turn. We're going to pick up this infantry and have him make a go for this island or that island. Okay. So that all worked perfectly. He's now in missile range. That worked perfectly too. And what is he building over here? He's got a bomber. I don't like that. So let me just see how he actually reacts. But he's definitely going to get himself now his superpower. Nothing I can do about that. I guess I'll have to pay repair costs for this thing, but it's probably worth it just to get it out of here faster. Load people up into your landers and so forth as much as possible to save on costs of repairs and avoid taking any global damage, that is. So if I unload my infantry, I will end up getting harmed. If I don't do that, then I can't launch missiles next turn. It's going to be useful for softening up his bomber. I think I'll need to be ready to do that. So I will, I think, go ahead and drop off the infantry, even though it will mean his captures are slower. And down here, I guess I'll advance these cruisers on down toward his airports and see if I can maybe lock them, if I can eventually stop him building things from his top one. And what should I build next? Well, I think I need more infantry quite desperately. So, more infantry it is. Alright, let's see how he behaves. It's a question of whether his bomber gets aggressive, which is bad for me, or defensive and hangs out near his airport. He can do either one. If he hangs out near his airport, I can conveniently missile him along with the fighter, which doesn't do much for me right now, but will help in the future. Having to waste an entire missile on just one bomber is painful. But I think it's... yeah, okay. This is the worst possible way things can go. Okay. But the good news is at least these guys don't cover each other. Good thing I dropped this guy off, because yeah, I've absolutely got to go and launch that missile now. And I'll do the strike, and it will be painful. He'll probably go back for repairs now. That'll be good for me at least. But I can no longer take out copters efficiently. Down here I can load these guys up and do a join capture, I guess. Pair of drop off. And this guy needs to go rush for that base, I think. If I drop an infantry off here, he can then walk 1, 2, 3. It's not as good. Okay. So we keep on together, I guess. Now I could load the anti-air into that lander. And that might be the best option. I think I'm going to go ahead and go for it. If I stand over here, am I able to drop off next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I'm going to do that then. And maybe, if I'm lucky, I can drop off and then start locking his airport. Okay, this missile is trash. I'll just advance it slowly. Do I want to join up and get this a little bit faster? Maybe. I might also want to get a Neo tank. Although the alternative is getting out a battleship, and that might be more valuable. I think I will maybe go for that. So I'll join these guys up to get some funds, get out a battleship, and prepare to move that in. That'll help lock them down, and get more infantry that can then drop off in the future. Alright, so will this bomber go back for repairs? I think so, but I don't know so. That is unexpected. Okay. Alright. Well, now what can I do? I think I need to launch another missile. So that these copters don't absolutely destroy me. And then if I sink or destroy that one, and then drop off over here, I don't think he can finish me given that I'm Drake. I would feel much more comfortable if I could get out my superpower, though. Do I have a way to do that? If I destroy that, does that give me enough power? That gives me enough power. Okay. With that, I think I can soften up this copter enough that it can't finish off my lander, and that will be beneficial to me. So I better do that. And I'll do this join up and get that money faster. Complete that capture too. Sail on over here. Remember to never use this before he's about to get out his CO Power superpower. In this turn, I'm pretty darn confident he's not close to that, so he will have to actually pay for these repairs or be weakened, one or the other. Yeah, nowhere close to it. So that works. Over here, I might be able to intercept the T-copter if it tries to come this way and block him from getting to that island, which then makes it much easier to capture away from him, of course. Now, what should I do over here? I could drop off here and then come back for more infantry. Or I could cruise on and try to steal his island out from under him, which is more valuable in that it gives me more overall money, but takes longer to get to. I think I'm going to try that. Just try to steal, or it doesn't give me money, it denies him money. That's more valuable to me. I think I'm going to go for that, and then I'll come back over here. Alright, so in this front, if I drop off an infantry here, or here, he can then walk there. Next turn and capture that base, we're going to do that. Although we're going to do it into that force since it's away from the copter. Then I can drive back a little bit faster and pick up more infantry in the future. And over here I could get another lander out, and actually that's probably worth it. Getting out a second lander on this map is quite viable because, although it seems like a big expense up front, the nice thing is that when you take some Black Storm damage, which you inevitably will, you can then join those landers up and recoup most of the costs. So it's not really spending 12,000, it's spending, about 80% of that, roughly. Since you will be able to get back most of that money. In the meantime, you can actually get some economic rewards, so it's probably worth it overall. Okay. So, he's got his rocket. He loves to get one of those things out to protect him. Not too surprising. If I stand here, then that blocks you from another crucial turn while I move in this line and prepare to steal the island from you. That's probably the best bet for me to do. And you don't actually have coverage over here, do you? So that's also good for me. Shoot that guy up, choke point you. Then I go ahead and go for that capture. Missile is worthless as usual. Battleship, moving in to support me. Alright, so over here my lander is sort of locked, but no it's not, never mind. It's not even close to locked, but whatever. I can do this attack here, finish it, Lander can scoot. Do I want to get this port? I think I want to capture this thing first so I get to full HP. Although he will inevitably get a superpower out at some point. And start cruising this lander on back to where I can pick up more people and bring them along. Now here, I definitely want to take out this copter, and then it's a question. Oh, didn't quite take it out. That's okay, I think. But then it's a question, do I want to attack his fighter? Or do I want to leave it unharmed? It's useless. If I attack it, he gets a lot of CO power threshold. I think, though, I still want to attack it, actually, and force him to spend it on repairs and maybe block his own airport or something like that. So I'm going to go for that. See if I get him to block more airports. And waste money on repairs. Alright, you guys load up into that lander. You run along here, you can help out in the future. These guys will probably go for the island. And I could get out more infantry. I think I will get out more infantry. This guy's still useless. Fine, fine, fine. Okay, so yeah, he blocked himself. Now, the problem is it does leave that airport over there unlocked. We didn't actually build from it this turn, so that's good for me. I think, in that case, I do want to kill these things off. Just finish them, and then he will, I think, replace that fighter with, you know, an even bigger waste of money. So that's beneficial to me, too. Let's do that. Over here, he doesn't actually cover me. Ah, he built down here. That's really good. So down goes that guy. That doesn't give him his CO power threshold. I want to keep it that way. So I will drop off over here. And prepare to just double attack whatever infantry he drops off. I've got this base. All is going perfectly according to plan. I can drop off maybe one guy here. And then one more on the island, perhaps. This guy will be able to capture that port next turn, so it's kind of a waste to have this guy that could drop and go for it, I would think. I could drop off over here, but that doesn't really help me advance or anything else, so yeah. We will drop like that. And then over hereabouts, I can move the APC back to pick up that guy next turn. And I think I want to skip my bases back here and just build a Neo-Tank near the front as soon as I can afford to do so. But I could go for a Neo-Tank from the back, or could go for a cruiser up here to help lock this port. Don't think I'll do that. I think I will save my money. And he should now waste his money on something big like a fighter from that top airport. I think the AI just loves to have a fighter because you have an airport, even if they never, ever, ever intend to use it. Can't do anything useful there yet, but I can at least start threatening his rocket, which is the main thing that I built this ship for, so that's fine. 1, 2, 3, yeah, I'll move like that. Over here, I don't get the nice double first strike that I wanted, but I do get at least a first strike, and he is on... He's already damaged, so I can't get full benefit from his terrain, so that's fine for me. Shoot that thing. Try to push him past his threshold, if at all possible. Might not be possible. But it might be if I start slugging out with that infantry. I'll give it a go. Maybe I'll go for this capture next. And yeah, we'll go right ahead and build that Neo-Tank. And complete that capture. He might get the Black Wave. I think it's looking that way. In which case, is it best for me to keep people in the lander and delay him getting out that super? Or delay them getting damaged by it? I think it is, actually. So, we're going to do that. Keep these guys in the lander for this turn, drop them off next turn. And it should end up with the same amount of time taken, but me spending a little tiny bit less money. Assuming that he actually goes ahead and uses that CO power this turn. If he doesn't, then that's kind of a waste, but... have to plan around the worst case scenario here. I think that's pretty good. Okay. And this lander can drive on back and prepare to join up maybe next turn or something like that. You can see, by the way, why it's necessary to have 2 anti-airs dropped off on his island up there. One will not suffice because it'll chip you down with, you know, copter retaliation damage and with black waves and so forth, so you've got to have 2. You get some good value out of this one, unfortunately, but oh well. Alright. The good thing is he did indeed waste more money on another copter over there, so that's great for me. I can probably just hang out there for another turn before capturing that city. It'll work out the same mathematically. Over here, we might as well join these infantry up. I could drop off a... Yeah, I'll send there and pick that guy up next turn, I think. We'll do it like that, get him transferred along. Over here, my plan worked, kept these infantry unharmed, so drop off, join up. Now I've got lots of money. Now, I think that the obvious move is to do this attack here, but I'll basically just see a fall behind if I do that. I think it would be smarter of me to take a different tack. I think it would be smarter for me to have this battleship finish off that guy. Go for the capture there. I don't think I should lock that one with this guy. I'll probably want to have this person capture it instead. This is a great turn to do an attack against him, get some free power build-up, because he's got his superpower going. So he doesn't get any power build-up himself. So do that attack here. Go for that capture. And now I think I want to advance this Neo-Tank full speed and block that spot off and prepare another Neo-Tank so I can just break through. You want guys that can instant kill. Neo-Tanks and anti-air, so you can't get walled up. I guess I can just drop off here, and that'll be just as good for this purpose. Capture out their city or go for the missile. Blocking my missile, but absolutely don't care about that. It's useless. I can pick it up with this lander next turn and get it transported somewhere, maybe. Alright, so. He's probably got the funds for another copter, but nothing bigger than that. That's fine for me. Great. Continue wasting your funds on that as long as you'd like to, Hawk. This is not great for me. I didn't expect him to build down here. Luckily I can still kill it, but just barely. Okay. So we get that capture. We get that capture. And I'll lock this airport next turn, then I won't need to worry about it anymore. I'll go for one of those. And I guess if I advance the missile, as far as I can go, which is there, I can pick it up from that square next turn. Do I want to launch a missile at him this turn? I can hit the tank, which is great. I can hit the MD tank and the rocket all together. I can hit all of these things, basically. That's probably worth it, actually. I think I will go ahead and launch that missile. Soften up those indirects that are otherwise a big nuisance to me. Now this new MD tank will be at 9 HP next turn. So that's enough to do some real damage. If I attack like that, and station this guy here, I'm prepared to do a pretty good breakthrough next turn, I think. Especially with another Neo-Tank and my CO power backing up to do a little bit of chip damage to it. That is my plan. It might be beneficial to pick up this guy with the APC rather than the lander. That was the originally planned move, and rush for his HQ with that if I can't go for a route win. Both are possible depending on what exactly he does, but you want to be ready for both possibilities so you can exploit whatever opportunity he gives you. Move in, maybe I can use this infantry to capture those properties. Steal more money from him that way. You can see at this point that I'm way ahead of him, or no, I'm not way ahead of him on value actually. Okay, even stealing his properties, I'm barely ahead of him on value, so stealing his properties is quite important, I would say, overall. But I will be way ahead of him in a few turns when I capture everything. Now, a good win time here is around 18 turns, I would say. You have 28 days as your actual time limit, but oh, wow, that's unexpected. He really just charged in there like a dummy. I think I can win this faster than usual this time, then. Okay. Nice. So we go for that property steal. That's great. Over here, he has thrown away more money. That's great for me, too. How far is he toward his CO power? He might well get it. I think that that is an acceptable thing that can happen at this stage. So, in we go. Charge, charge. I think I might be able to push him past it, but if not, this is still a really good breakthrough. I'm going to just go for it. He'll probably block his own city or something like that next. That will be beneficial to me, too. You can start this capture. Missile, get up there. Lots of captures here. I have a city so I can repair infantry, so that'll be good for capturing the rest of the island quickly. And over here, I'm going to just make a break for his HQ, and likewise with this missile, I'll prepare it to maybe drop off and help lock one of those airports or something like that. And yet another... Oh, I can't quite afford another Neotank, can I? Very well. Little tiny bit off. This is running out of fuel. I better win before that happens, but I think I can do it. I do have an APC to help back him up. Maybe an anti-air is what I should spend my money on at this point, actually. And have this copter... Yeah, who cares? Stand thereabouts. And now I'm locking down his base. That's good for me, too. Okay. I think he gets a CO power. No, maybe not. He is walling me very annoyingly, but that's going to be okay too. So I can steal that property from him, I can keep working on that. I am going to be making so much money after this turn. Got that port. Drop off. Shoot that thing down. Alright, so I think here I need to break through like that. Sadly, I'm one off there. Can I, if I had... No, even with... Oh wait, I've got this cruiser backing me up. All is well. Okay, great. I thought this was going to be an annoyingly close shave there where I couldn't quite do it, but I can do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't get to that artillery quite. I can get close to it, but not all the way. Fine, I will soften up that mech instead. And attack like that. And like... This position should be okay. Move in that anti-air to threaten more targets. I guess I can initiate that capture. And over here, if I just stay out of the way, I can go for an HQ drop with either the lander or with my APC, either way. And he'll probably get a CO power, but I'll get a super power and it'll be okay for me overall. No, I pushed him past the threshold, just barely. Okay. Great. Can I wipe him out this turn, in that case? Let's see. So over here, yeah, down goes that copter. Block that airport. Steal that property. I might need that guy to finish something off. Over here, if I soften that guy up, I think he becomes finishable. There we go. Getting to that back artillery might be a bit of a challenge. I need to make sure I've got enough units ready to do that, so I can finish up this turn and get an early win. Let's see. I can kill that guy. Okay. If I attack with this, is that a guaranteed? I think I'm 1 unit short, aren't I? Yeah, I've got 4 attackers, but I've got 5 things I need to kill. So I can't win this turn. It's going to take until turn 17. That's not awful by any means. It's still a very fast win. I hope that blocking this airport doesn't actually cause me any problems. Maybe I didn't think this through well enough. I'll get a fighter in here so I can police his airports with that, maybe. And yeah, I'll go ahead and attack. And attack. And attack. He'll probably be forced to build himself an infantry from that base if I leave it open for him. How much money has he got? He'll have 18,000, enough for 2 copters. But not if he builds an infantry first, it won't be enough for 2 copters. It would just be 1 copter then, and that's easier for me to manage. So I think I'll do things like that. And maybe I'll drop off a guy here. Could be useful to help lock those airports. Okay, well I think I messed up a little tiny bit there. Could have maybe won 1 turn faster, but it might not have been possible with the configuration of units that I had available at the time. And oh well, this way I got to steal like almost all of his stuff at least, which is pretty funny too. Oh, maybe I could have used that missile. No, I wasn't in position for that. Yeah, oh well. Okay. This is manageable. So turn 17 is going to be a pretty great victory. I can even get a little tiny bit of use, not much, out of my trashy Drake fighter. Remember, in this game, unlike in Advanced Wars by Webb, Drake actually has 30% minus firepower on his air units, not just 20%. They just they for some reason buffed him in Advanced Wars by Web. I don't really know why, because they kept most things that they were in Advanced Wars 2, but just buffed arbitrarily Drake and also changed Storm up a bit. It's weird. If they're doing that, why not just change all the COs to be more, more balanced? I'm not sure. But turn 17, 11 turns left on the clock, no casualties taken. I'd say it's a pretty smooth win overall. Good general strategy here. You might need to adapt a little tiny bit, but this general approach of first splitting up his bombers, tricking them into going for capturing infantry, then finishing them off with missiles or anti-airs at that point, capturing the base early, and having a double lander drop to steal his islands with anti-airs in the northeast and with infantry in the south. Probably the best approach is to soften him up and take all his money and make him waste it all on planes they can just kill as they come out of the airport. Eagle shows up too late, as usual. What you get when you have a 9-star charge up bar, right? Alright. Thank you for watching, everyone, and a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Illusory Thunder, Master Knight DH, Advanced Warrior, Jackie, Gregory, William Wakefield, Kenny Boggs, Danny Hall, Jeffrey Morse, Supreme Crimson Leader, and Enlino. Have a great day, everyone!